How's it going, guys? My name is Liam. If you don't know me, I'm an entrepreneur, YouTuber, fitness, jiu-jitsu black belt. Nah, I'm a blue belt. But I'm talking about this. If you're an entrepreneur or anyone pursuing anything ambitious, you probably have some sort of disgust for mediocrity. And for instance, whenever none of my close friends are people who are lazy. And I've tried to analyze why that is. And it happens naturally. It's not something you say where you're like, oh, you're lazy, I'm trying to be successful, we're not friends anymore. It's actually something that happens very naturally, and it's okay. You stop hanging out with them, you stop texting them, you stop communicating, and it's not some weird thing, especially because we're dudes. It just happens naturally. And when I look back at it, I think, wow, I do have a sense of distaste for these people who are not reaching for a little more or going after what they really want. I can tell when someone's going after their innate desires or passions. And so when someone's not doing that, I can tell when they're led by external factors. And that's just not something I want to be around. Not because, oh, it's going to infect me. It's because they're not completely comfortable with themselves yet. And even if it's a portion of themselves that is not relevant to me in a social situation, for instance, if we go to a party, it doesn't matter what their dreams are and if they're going after them. That's completely irrelevant to the fact that we're at a party trying to socialize. So I would go to these events. I never drink, by the way. And I just be around these people, and it's the subject matter. It's what you talk about. They're not talking about anything with any real meaning to it. They're talking about how many beers we gonna get. They're talking about what are we gonna do tomorrow, the hose, I don't know. It's stupid. So when I get together with people, there is like-minded individuals at least. There is a disconnect. I like to be funny, don't get me wrong. However, I'm just not around people who are not authentic. It's almost the authenticity that is the biggest thing. They don't necessarily need to be overachievers by any means, but they have to be completely authentic with themselves, and that's something that you can feel. It's not some deep dive you have to take to figure out, oh, are they authentic? No, you can feel it. You can smell it on people, just the way they carry themselves. And especially if you have a deeper rapport with them, you can figure out, oh, they're neglecting a part of themselves that could bring out a lot of potential. Now, I've gotten good enough to mask this distaste for disingenuine people. So what I mean by that is, before I was just disgusted by everyone who was not going after something big. And then I realized, wait a second, not everybody signed up for this. And so now it only matters with my close circle, my direct people that I'm talking to weekly, daily more so. It only matters with the people that I'm talking to all the time, because that's literally influencing me. You do not realize that the people you're talking to create the human you're becoming. That's not anything new. It's very cliche and trite, but it's extremely true. You can notice it. The greatest evidence I have is that I changed so much for the better. I was already at a high enough bar because I was always working. However, I moved 3 hours away from my parents. I have my own place and I have my own office. I don't have any friends. And surprisingly, this has actually upped my state of mind, my lifestyle, and my progression towards my goals. Now, why is that? I've analyzed this a lot. Why does being alone make you more productive? It's simply because you don't have outside stimulus affecting your day-to-day. It's very simple, but not simple at the same time. So I've said this before, and I'll say it again, but you need space for creativity. So in your day, creativity comes from boredom. It's in those moments where you're not consuming that you have space to actually create. So if you're hanging out with your friends, yes, that there's value to social activities. But if you have no friends, one, you can become okay with being by yourself in your own thoughts constantly. That's been huge. Number two, you're more or less always in a creative mode because there's nobody telling you that's not going to work, that's stupid, don't do that, or even people simply talking about things that might urge you to not do what you want to do. There's none of that when you're by yourself. It's magical. It's literally magical. I think that's one of the reasons why people meditate, is because it's so hard to detach from that stimulus when you're surrounded by it. So if you can go and meditate for a few hours, you can achieve that disconnect and give yourself that space to actually create stuff as opposed to just consuming. So living alone is that. What I have found is that with the people I am immediately close with, relationships, best friends, etc., all of these people, if they aren't already into disciplined endeavors, get into them as a byproduct of being around me. Any girlfriend I've ever had, what the? Okay, that was like a Batman moment. What the hell? These are not bats, but imagine they were, and they just flew around me, and I'm scared, but I'm low-key Batman. Anyhow, that was sick. That's never happened. They seem really comfortable around me. Wow. Find my way back to the video topic. That was insane. That was sick. Anyone who's been close enough to me, if they don't work out, after they hang out with me for about 3 days, they work out. That's why I think I'm meant to be a fitness coach, or at least have that somewhere in the piece of my pie, because I think I'm genuinely very good at that. By the way, free fitness program dropping on Saturday, June 21st. Apart from that, I seek out friendships and seek out individuals to have in my circle that have that drive and passion. And I think it's okay to be selective like that. I don't think there's any harm in choosing people who have the same amount of drive as you or are on their way up. I'm genuinely very different than the people I know from high school. And I honestly feel like I'm a beacon of energy, not in any weird egoic way. Simply put, I have a lot of energy, inspirational energy that I think kind of leaks onto people when they're around me, just the way it is. But I will say, when I've had a relationship, a past girlfriend, she didn't work out, I got fucking pissed. I don't know what it is, dude. And I thought, I need to be okay with this. But no, it shows a disrespect for yourself to not work out. I see it as disrespectful to yourself. Health is the number one thing you have in your entire life. If you don't have health, you don't have shit. A sick man wants one thing, a healthy man wants 10,000 things, which is not one-to-one connected to what I'm saying here. However, if you're sick, your life sucks. So taking care of your body means a lot to me, and it shows a lot because the gym and your health creates a domino effect. I see these people who have a bunch of money, but they're overweight and they don't take care of any other part of their life besides the business. I don't respect those people. I think your health comes first and then you win at business, not the other way around. I don't think that's possible. If you go deeper into that scenario, if you win at business before you ever think about your health, you've already, in a sense, felt like you completed life. Completely hypothetical. I've never been there. I think health comes first. If you don't know where you're at in life and you just want to better yourself and eventually get somewhere, go to the gym today. Dropping a free program on Saturday. So people in my immediate network need to work out. It's just as simple as that. I don't care. I don't know what it is. And if I like you enough to stick around you, your ass is going to get in the gym and you may not even realize it, but you're going to fall in love with the gym just by simply being around me. I don't know how the hell I do it, but it's consistent every time. I think it's just darkness cannot exist in light. So in a sense, not exercising is darkness. We can all agree that's bad, right? So me, extremely passionate about working out, being around you, you're the darkness, I'm the light in this sense. I'm not God, okay? I am very passionate about exercising and health. And so me bringing that light and shining it into you, you're not going to be able to not work out with the amount of passion I bring. That's why I can't wait to just coach a ton of people. I'm so excited for that, bro. I'm going to make a ton of people healthy. I fucking love YouTube. Freaking love making videos, dude. I love it. It's 7 a.m. right now. I really like this film spot. See, we got this car. Look, they could probably use a fitness coach. Look at him. Look at how he turned. He needs a coach, bro. Fuck. Poor guy. He probably doesn't know I'm dropping a program on Friday. I am hyped off this coffee, dude. I can't wait to drop this program. All right. AtomicLifestyle.fit. It's dropping on Saturday, June 21st. It's free, bro. Completely fucking free. There's no opt-ins. There's nothing. I don't want anything from you, actually. So, you have a good rest of your day. Hope this video was good. Peace.